Good morning, my name is Carlos Rodarte. I'm doing my forum for this 2.2.4 task that I have to deliver today for the CEM and KMS case study. In my opinion of the case of these two companies, I think that both companies have different cultures because of a different country. What I have understood and learned about the French culture is that negotiation is an art, and diplomatic relationships are very important to French companies. KMS will also have a very strong position in the negotiation. Usually, as French doing negotiations, they don't like to bargain, and they will be more open to the debating and discussing the points regarding the agenda. KMS, as a French company, has an ego approach for negotiation. Decision making will start a long-range view of the purpose of the negotiation and will also place low priority on short-term decisions with no impact. So the first point in speaking on the CEM company, it's a family business. So this company has a structure, but all of the high level must be from family. So this also is relying on the need to trust in each other, and also they have bigger control of the people and more visibility of who is doing what. They are less managerial risk takers, and usually the top management in the family business has a slow way of communicating the decisions. So group decisions and group analysis of the strategy for the future is always discussed in a high level management. The other point I would like to address is that CEM looks forward to have employees with a specific profile for developing and doing a great job, but always in compliance with the expectations set on first hand. So this relies only on expectations and not more task oriented or results measured. For a great performance, CEM will need to focus on competent business talent with a strong organizational capacity and also cooperation between the founders of the company. In my opinion, CEM will focus on short-term gain, but not exactly have a very specific plan for the future of the joint venture. So they will need to focus on long-term strategy if they want to continue building a strong business. The KMS culture, in the other hand, has more decentralized structures because they keep their responsibility in all the people in the projects they have. Managerial risk-taking in KMS is going to be more than in the other company. Also, I can say that in this company, KMS, they are very focused on advancing the jobs and to have more clients pursuing goals. They are focusing on really getting more results. There are business units that have a structure of a director in every country, so the decisions are not centralized in KMS. Just one central office in charge of other important decisions in the company, so is in charge. So they just have to. The CEO gets the feedback and aligns every business unit they have around different countries. What I've also learned, and I can discuss about these joint ventures, is that KMS offers high-tech projects with a high value added for customers, but with high prices. So this step is really focusing in having more projects in the market This is why they have been working and have a great path for getting new projects in new regions. In 5 years, the projects have been growing very, very fast because of this strategy. They are innovating. They have innovation in technology, and I think this is the key for the company to be a leader. So also I understood that the stage of planning of the French companies and specifically in KMS is very important. Previous planning is made. So plans are made in the long term, and it's a different way of seeing and approaching this joint venture. They have also very clear the conditions they need for the Mexican company and the KPIs they will follow to have green light or doing less job if something is really measured for this joint venture. In my opinion, also it will be easy for the director that already knows Mexico culture and will be leading the negotiation the way Mexico will approach the negotiations. So I think they really understand that in Mexico we are more social and also we like protocols. When the time comes, the negotiation is always for us always the protocol is very important as in France. This director, I think, also will find that in Mexico the negotiations are sometimes a trade-off and will be difficult to negotiate with the tendency in Mexico. So and to know Mexico and really getting to know Mexico is very good because they really understand that we have a centralized decision-making process from top to down. This will also help how to approach negotiations. Negotiations with CEM are going to be very centralized in the decision-making process because of the leaders of how the structure is in CEM, and they may take some decisions without consensus. They are going to just to feel and really make the decision. CEM seems to have a people culture rather than task-oriented, different than in KMS that they are very task-oriented. One thing is that the value of time schedules will be very, very important in the negotiation phase. The negotiations will be held in a high standard. I think KMS and French companies tend to have a great way of communicating orally and written. So CEM needs to be at the same level. The Mexican executives may know with anticipation that the French like this, that they negotiate and they prepare. So we need to follow this methodology also earlier the negotiations. Knowing the French culture beforehand is an element that will help the aim of the negotiation. It is very important the decision of who the negotiator will be. I think this is also a key learning because this will help the process of negotiation a joint venture. It is a strength that a French married to a Mexican person will take the lead to have this process because this will help the knowledge of Mexican culture and how Mexican is. A close relationship with this member of the board can have a great impact in how lead and conduct the negotiations. So finally, last but not least, what I have learned in the course was that multinational multicultural negotiations need some emotional skills because negotiators need to have the ability to understand emotional behavior and also really getting to know the counterpart negotiators, such as in this case in the CEM and KMS case study. Also, what I have learned is that negotiators with a global mindset are able to influence others who have different worldviews. For example, the joint venture of Vitro and Corning, in which there were the cultural dimension observed, and this was very very helpful to really get to know how and specific elements to really discuss if a joint venture is feasible or not. And finally, the lessons also were the cultural conflicts between two countries like Mexico and India, which are emerging markets but still have a different way of accomplish goals. Also, the French and Mexicans, I think this final work also is mentioning the difference between how Mexican manage what's the culture around the companies, and what are the proposals that we need to have to get a very strong and successful joint ventures. Thank you very much. My name is Carlos Rodarte. My ID is 207642. Bye bye. Have a nice day.